Hi, so I want to do a video show people how to light a campfire with flint. I'm at sunny Glencoe. Be jealous. There's home sweet home for tonight. The sun's out and it's the middle of April. So the flint that I use is Bear Grylls one. Matches the trousers. Okay. However, I'm not paying £60 for a Bear Grylls axe, so I got an £11 one from B&Q. Anyway, how to get a fire started. It's really easy. People worry about this. They bring matches and all sorts of things just in case the flint doesn't work. So I'm going to point you down to where the action's happening. There we go. Now my best advice is be prepared. So I've got some Vaseline. Covered some cotton wool in Vaseline. I fluff that up a bit, and I like to put it on paper or it gets disappeared in the fire. So I put that there, and what I do is I make what I call little fire bricks. Hold up the paper. Usually when you buy firewood from companies you can also get free papers, so you fold it into like triangles as tight as you can without ripping it. And make good like wee fire brick things. I don't know if you can see all this, but anyway, so I'll pop that there, and I made some others. So what I'm looking for is this bit you hold still, okay, and this bit you pull away, okay. Like so. All we need to do is make that, get the cotton wool, and start feeding the fire bigger and bigger and bigger bits of things that burns. Tinder, blocks of wood, stuff like that. And put the kind of wood that's been lying about in the woods, the forest, put that on last because it's usually damp. And the bark, if it's wet, can sometimes be like, can put fires out, which is the last thing you want. So here we go. There we go. Just takes one spark. Off we go. Gently feed it. Now it's on paper so it doesn't fall through and I don't lose it somewhere in the previous fire. And you see that's taken off nicely, so everything's starting to burn. Just leave it on. There we go. Easy as that. This stays kind of dry all the time, and even if it's wet it's not a problem. And you can, at the end, you can put in your cotton wool with petroleum on it, and it's about £1.50 to buy some Vaseline, and about £1.50 to buy a huge big bag of cotton wool balls, which is really good. So it's really cheap, £3, and that'll last me for every time I go camping. Now what I want to do is move this to where I want the fire to be. Just feeding the paper on. That's all newspaper. You can see, there we go. Now there's some heat coming out of that already. Vaseline kind of really takes off. So I start putting on my bits of tinder. At this stage, don't even think about putting anything like this on. See how quickly that takes off. Real heat coming out of there now already. Again, having a fire quickly can be the difference between life and death. Yeah, it's good for morale, good to cook on, good if you're walking about the rivers around here, freezing your feet off and you want to warm your feet, or dry them out before you get something bad happening to you. So, just layering them. Other people like to build a pyramid of logs with the easy to light things in the middle and then the harder to light things outside. It's just another way of doing it. I just like to watch it and feed it. I mean, it's not been unknown that you put the big logs on and it just puts the fire out completely. It's the last thing you want. So just feeding it little bits until you can throw those logs on. Obviously somebody here had a big log that didn't light. It's obviously damp and left it on the fire, but once my fire gets going I build it up enough, there'll be enough power and energy in the fire to start burning stuff like that. Now, that's all really good, but there's a tent over there, big lamp. When you come to these sites, it's sometimes a problem when you find beer cans or cigarettes in the fire. You know, you like to come to these sites and it to be like, you know, you're new here, you're the first one here, like a pioneer. Just remember that your campfire is not a waste disposal unit. So don't put your garbage in there. The beer cans don't burn that easily, and sometimes they give off some really bad smells. So just put the stuff like wood, paper in there. Make sure it all burns nice for the next person. Leave the campsite as you found it. There'll be nothing left of me once I leave here. There'll be no cans, no crisp packets, nothing. It's always ideal to take a poly bag, put all your rubbish in it and take it off site. Just to make it a nice experience for the next person. It's not good for the animals around here either. Just imagine if you entered a campsite covered in beer tins and bottles and broken glass. It's the last thing you would want. So luckily there's not too much here. There's a few beer cans and bits of eggs and stuff. People have obviously used it as a waste disposal. It's not, it's for heat, it's for cooking. It's not waste disposal, guys. So let's see how the fire's doing. I've done my lecture. No more moaning. I think that's it. So you can see it's beginning to take off. And that's with the Bear Grylls kind of fire lighter. Good solid fire lighter actually. I know it has the Bear Grylls name and you would think, well, it's just a licensed item, but it actually is really, really good. So, the other thing about these fires which is really good is I find things with nice smelling leaves, and these burn quite quickly. You have to be very, very careful because they can kind of burn away from the stones. Now the stones are there to reflect in the heat and also to keep the fire under control. You don't want the grass burning around you, which can lead to your tent, which will go up very fast. You just want to keep the stones there, keep everything within the stones. And what happens is it reflects the heat in, also keeps the heat in one place. So everyone's safe sitting around it to some extent, providing they don't launch themselves into it. Now I also like to put on the smelly stuff, which is like these kind of branches, which I found were out of a tree. And the leaves smell like eucalyptus. I'm not sure what it is. Another thing is pine cones smell quite nice, but don't use too many pine cones because the pine cones are obviously for the environment. As you can see, dry leaves are very quick and somewhat unpredictable. That's producing a nice heat now. I'm actually going to have to step back. Not bad for a piece of cotton wool. I don't know how much you can see. Some more kindle. Those leaves look impressive, but they're not doing much. Now in there's a nice real fire going on there. Take advantage of wherever the fire is and put bits of kindle on it. Now there's these bags that you get the kindle and the logs in. Now, at the end of it, put these kind of bags, take them off camp with you. Don't put them in the fire. The smell, they never burn completely and they leave a mess for someone else to clean up. Fire's coming along nicely now. The sooner the fire's up, the sooner the beer comes out. I'm doing a video to show how to light a fire and you're just in it. Oh. Say hiya. Hiya. Just using the fire starter. You know, very popular when people see a fire going, they want to come over and say, can you help us with our fire? I was just going a bit, but it's not going completely. Bear Grylls fire starter, it's pretty good, it's not the only one. Remember, this bit on top, pull away. Easy. Okay. I hope this helps, maybe put some other rubbishy videos on. I know some people struggle with campfires, like the lady there, but it's pretty easy. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with some beautiful view of the fire and of Glencoe. Stunning.